But yeah, this is the finished look. I think it actually turned out pretty well, considering. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very hot and muggy day here in Boston, just finishing up the 4th of July weekend. As you can tell, I am a little worse for the wear, but you know what? That's fine. We will get through this. So today I have a couple of things I kind of want to try. I have a couple of new foundations. I went on a Sephora haul and it was prosperous, we'll put it that way. And I have a ton of new things that I've been trying out, a lot of great products, and I kind of want to show them today, but I also want to do a little bit of a tutorial. I want to follow along with someone who's a little bit more experienced in the makeup mogul world, because in my opinion, I am not an expert. So I think I just touched my mic. But today, once I get my hair all straightened out, I need to get my hair done so bad. But yeah, once I'm ready to go, we are going to start with a couple of products that I want to introduce that I've been trying. And it's going to be fun because, as you can tell, I had some fake tan and it's kind of wearing off. I am really trying to scrub it off before I go again. I got it done for the 4th of July weekend since I'm so pale. Wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of color before going to the beach and blinding everybody. So I am going to get started. So first, I really want to try a free sample that I got. This is Dr. Jart Ceramide. Essentially, how it works is that this is a hydrating retention cream, and it kind of works after your moisturizer, and it starts coming out in this little tiny like yellowish pigment, and they said to take just kind of like a tiny little dollop and just work it into the skin. It actually smells really good. Like, if you like things that are scented, this product is fantastic. It has like a lemony cake kind of smell to it. It smells really delicious, actually. I like Dr. Jart because things are pretty simple with this company. They don't like to add a whole lot of products or chemicals, I mean, into their products. So there's something that I can really rely on for my skin that has become a little bit more sensitive over time because I'm using benzoyl peroxide and retinoid and all these other medications to treat my adult cystic acne. So there's that. But this is how it looks. It kind of has that sticky consistency, which is perfect when we're going in with this. This is the Tarte Found Concealer Multitasking Foundation. And you know, today I wanted to follow a makeup tutorial that another makeup mogul has done. The only person I could find was Tarte. If you've never seen Tate's videos, she's been in the beauty biz forever. She had some beef with James Charles, all of this, and yeah, so she did a little bit of a test on this, but it was more talking about whether or not this is a gimmick. And I'll be honest, I've tried this already, as you can probably tell, and it was fantastic. I loved it. And going back to my original forethought about sharing things that I have just recently gotten from Sephora, this. So as I said, I have fake tan. This is Drunk Elephant, their anti-pollution sunshine drops. So it's cocoa extract and platinum peptides. Basically, it's got minimal ingredients and it acts kind of like a bronzer. So just as a test, because I'm not putting it on my face today, because otherwise I have to drag it down to my neck and just not dealing with it. Maybe I'll put a little bit of color on, but. So there's what that looks like. It's this really, really pretty color, and it just makes any foundation, like this one is in the shade Light Sand 225. This is my shade, and it makes any of those lighter foundations darker. because I was going back and forth with the Sephora lady saying, I fake tan and everything like that, but I don't want to buy 2 foundations. And she was like, I've got a cheat sheet for you, because she also had fair skin like me. So if you have fair skin like me, seriously invest. If you're a fake tanner, or if your face just doesn't tan like the rest of your body, you can also use this to darken, like it's buildable coverage for making it, not buildable coverage, it's buildable in how dark it can get, I guess. So anyway, we are going to go in, very handy, I'm going to end up breaking it. It snaps in place, so that's good. And then it's just a pump, which is excellent. I know a lot of people really like pumps. So since I've been using this, I have been using a little bit more than they say on the bottle, which is totally fine. And I need to go get my brush. Okay, so I have my brushes, and I have all kinds of goodies in here that need to be washed. So if you see it look a little dirty, I just don't have the time. So this is the color. It's a little too dark for me, which is fine. We're gonna use some concealer. Frankly, when I'm at my fairest, I actually don't have a foundation that really matches, except for Fenty Beauty. As you can tell, I've really used it a lot. And this stuff is fantastic. But it's very, very oil controlling. So on days when my skin is like today, just because I'm a woman that has, you know, hormones that vary and everything like that. My skin can be really oily or it can be really dry. It's having one of those drier days. So for a foundation like this that has a little bit of a hydrating factor, this has been pretty nice. But by the way, this is, should probably tell you, it is 1 fluid ounce, which is pretty standard. And yeah, so again, very dark. I've been putting it on with, and then I go in with the blender. But I can make this lighter by using a concealer, even though this is supposed to be found concealer, meaning that it is supposed to act like a concealer and a foundation all at once for that real full coverage. As you can tell, coverage actually is pretty nice. A little bit about what's been going on with me. I know I said that it's been 4th of July weekend, so my boyfriend and I went on and did some shopping. We went hiking in the Boston area. There are a lot of hiking trails that surround the city and the suburbs, so we did that. Got some great views, and other than that, just been chilling. Of course, I have my internship. I have just a few more weeks left for my master's degree. And then, you know, hopefully gonna find a job somewhere, but we'll see. So as you can tell, this is pretty yellow and kind of dark for my skin. But like I was going to mention before I completely forgot, my skin has those cooler tones, so the yellow really works for me. And sometimes it's actually pretty darn hard for me to find any foundation that will actually have that cooler undertone. A lot of other ones are warmer. I've found that with like companies like Maybelline, they actually, for a drugstore, do a pretty good job, but L'Oreal is kind of hard with cooler tones, especially when you're as pale as me. So having that cool undertone and then having that pale skin, you know, it's kind of difficult. So now I'm gonna go in, press this. But yeah, today I kind of want to show you guys how this works, and then also do a little bit of a tutorial, maybe just for my eyes. But since I've tried this before, I'm not gonna like show you like my day-to-day or how my day goes wearing this, because I can tell you right now, when I have worn it and put it with a setting spray and a setting powder, it does not move. I mean, the second I put it on and then set it nice and then spray everything at the end, my skin can go 12, 15 hours even without even budging, and it's been fantastic, and that's in sweaty conditions. I have been working outside at my TV station that I work at on Fridays because we do weekend zip trips, which is basically having like an outdoor audience for our morning newscast, but in a different town in Massachusetts. And yeah. So yeah, as you can see, there is a huge difference in color here. And then right here as well. So we are going to make sure that we definitely lighten that up. So I have the foundation on, and the next step for us is going to be putting on the concealer. And once I find that, there we go. So I get Vanilla NARS, which is a fantastic concealer. I was using Bare Minerals for a while. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos, but it just wasn't cutting it. It really melts off, and it's also very warm, going back again to talking about those foundations that don't really have those cooler undertones. They did have a pretty fair color for me, but it was more orangish, red, definitely for those warmer undertones. This one is cooling, and this is actually $13 as a small travel size. So I'm glad that it works. So we're gonna just go in, put this in. This is what it looks like in some nice harsh lighting. Beautiful, isn't it? Just making sure everything's really put in there. Now I'm gonna quickly do my eyebrows. Well, since my eyebrows don't look that great these days, we are just gonna have to go with that because I have not had the time to go get my eyebrows done. Another product that I'd really like to introduce is Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. Just a nice little finishing touch. So that is the base. Now we can move into the eyes. And I want to have like a part 2 to this video, kind of like a separate segment. We are going to follow along with a Makeup Mogul's eye. And we are going to try to use this palette and this palette to follow along. We won't be using any palette that they have. This palette and this palette. Because I don't often use these and I'm ready to get to work. So let's get into this. I'm doing a Shayno's video on do's and don'ts, pretty basic one to follow, kind of how to do your eyes, and she and I have similar features, going back to those Celtic roots. So we are going to be following along with her video, and she's going to show us kind of the do's and don'ts of not just contouring and setting and eyes, but the whole works. And yeah, so we're just going to follow along, and hopefully I can figure out what we're doing.
Rights and wrongs. Hopefully you'll be able to actually see the ones going forward.
So we don't have that bronzer. We actually have today, because I'm not going to have any of the products she has in this video, my Tarte. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I use this and probably this alone. So we're going to have to follow along with this. The shades aren't that much different. Let's see.
It tells you to do the 3. So up on the temple, down onto your chin, and then down underneath. Now this is
I think this is a medium face brush.
You'll find that when you just go in with a correct on a
Heaps of
product like
product
that, it's going to
on
look like
brush.
orange. It may look
That
patchy.
I think I can
However,
do.
we just take a
So we are
small
going to do The bronzer, again, this is Farmer's Market. Tap that off. So there's that. So there's that. So I have Beach Getaway. I don't really have any other highlighters. That's a lie. I do. I have one that is a little bit cooler.
And it's in the shade Aurora.
Hi, Bean. We're going to just go on in with this, where she tells us to put it. Alright, so she has a, I was going to say foundation, but that's not right. She has a color that she is going to have that matches her skin tone. For me, going into my BH Cosmetics, I have, I think this one that matches as kind of like a base for us. So I'm going to go in. With a nice flat brush here, and just gonna go to work. I have no idea what colors she's actually gonna do for her eyes today, so we'll just have to see.
And then I'm just going to pack that all over top of that primer to set it down. Where you first place your brush is going to be the place where the most eyeshadow is going to stick. If you start in the middle, you're going to have the most eyeshadow stuck in the middle. If you start on the outer edge, the most eyeshadow is going to be stuck in the outer edge. So starting here, and then...
So it looks like she's got a purplish color, which is fine. We can rock purple today. That's all good. Problem though, we don't really have a purple that matches. So you know what? I'm going to do something really bold today. I'm going to go in with this hot shot color right here. Just, yeah, look at that. Look at that beaut. We're going to go in with that one. Got to get a new brush. She has kind of like a fluffy brush for that nice crease. Just going to... So there is that. There are a few places, of course, where my brush has kind of just flown everything everywhere. But, you know what? We can clean that up later.
See that difference. This color is beautifully blown out. This color is darker. You can obviously build this color up to be darker too if you wanted, but this color is a lot darker and it's quite patchy on the inner corner and in the middle. Now I'm taking the same brush and again just taking...
So then she goes in with a darker color. As you can tell, mine is also kind of patchy. I'm not sure if that's the foundation because I don't have a eyeshadow primer. I don't know if it's because I just suck at doing my eyeshadow. I'm not used to doing fun colors like this. I try very hard not to do fun colors just because of this reason. So she has like a purplish color. I guess I have one similar that's right here. She said go in with the same brush, so I'm going to go in the same brush. So she goes in with a different brush for the inner eye, which is what we're going to do. Something with a little bit more shimmer, where we can open up this palette. As you can tell, my eye is going to look nothing like hers. You know what? That's perfectly fine. So I have my Oasis, Desert Oasis palette. Pretty. And we are going to go in, I think, with Mineral, which is a nice little pinky shade. And also noticing that she kind of goes in underneath. That's something that cannot be forgotten. I almost forgot it. We're going to go in with more of an angled brush for that. And we are going to go in with those same two darker colors that we used in the beginning.
The back of your eye makeup and ruining your makeup. You guys have seen my makeup tutorials. I freaking ruin my eyeshadow all the time with my mascara, but this just helps avoid it a little bit better.
I always go in with my eyeliner first, but you know what? We're gonna follow Shan today.
Then what I'm going to do is rotate the wand underneath. So I'm taking it, I don't know how to show you this. So I'm kind of like winding it like this. So I'm rotating the bristles into the root of my lash. A lot of people miss the roots. So tilting your head back, rotating into the root.
That is a fun look she's doing, and we're gonna make that face too. So I'm gonna go in with, again, a mascara that is not hers. This is a travel size of the Roller Lash by Benefit. I love this stuff, so I don't care. But we're just gonna Am I making the face? So I like to do a couple of coats just to make sure I've got every single lash, let it dry for a little while, and then go back. Make sure all of that is put together very nicely, very nicely.
Kind of look away from the wand if you're a little bit scared of hitting your eye, and then blink into it. Do that a few times until you coat all of the roots of your lashes. Sorry if I've got any boogers, I think I do. And if I just stop there for a second, and if I just stop here immediately, look at the root of my lashes compared to the side, they look so much thicker. I like to place them on, like place the wand on my lashes, and then wiggle side to side.
So we have a Q-tip.
And again, I like to
We are going to just
motion with my
roll it out.
Like roll it. I like to kind of like roll it as I go, so that there's as little pressure as possible, so I'm not disrupting the eyeshadow underneath. I'm just doing little tiny rotating strokes, just we are going to so I don't have any false lashes because I am notorious for destroying them shortly after wearing them, because I always wear them out, they get sweaty, I end up losing them, or I put them in my pocket. It's just not a thing with me. So we are going to move on past the lashes. But I would like to do them in a video one of these days, if I ever remember to buy them. Okay, let's do lip liner on both sides so I can show you how not to wear lip liner.
Okay, so she's doing lip liner. Very, very smart move. I do need lip liner. So we are going to go in, because I don't have a shade that she has, of course. With MAC. This is my try and true. This is just what we're sticking with.
Overlining your lips, and you go literally like way over. This is gonna look silly on me anyway. Some people actually can pull it off, so I shouldn't really say you shouldn't do this, but you know, I think this is safe. Like if you start with this, and once you're comfortable, you know, you can do different shapes if you
C'est la vie. I am going to go off camera and do eyeliner, because I like having my eyeliner and I don't have eyelashes like she does, and that's probably why I shouldn't do eyeliner. But anyway, I'm gonna go do my eyeliner. So this is the finished look. Please don't mind my hair. It hasn't been dyed in a while. It also really hasn't been taken care of recently. But yeah, this is the finished look. I think it actually turned out pretty well, considering. So this is kind of what we have going on here. Yeah, so I haven't actually set my makeup yet, but as you can see, this is what it looks like up close. So what I do have for us is the Dew Mist by Bare Minerals. I freaking love this stuff. Just gonna take a little bit of this. This is the finished look, and I hope everyone had a wonderful time watching. I keep messing with my hair because I just don't like it right now. Even the roots are like super bad. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you stay tuned for another video in 2 weeks, and have a good one. Bye-bye.